I am in Portugal.
And I'm about to take you across the entire country in just 12 minutes, so hang on tight. We were wandering around these tiny streets for about 5 minutes before we found our first Airbnb behind this gate.
Our Airbnb here is absolutely incredible. We have this riverfront terrace where I'm just basking in this perfect 70-degree sun, overlooking the river, the castle. You can pretty much see everything in the town from right here. It doesn't get any better than this. We're trying to make it to that castle over there, but I'm pretty sure we need to go on that bridge.
After that long walk, we were super hungry, so we went to go find some food and came across the world's fanciest McDonald's. For once, actually didn't eat there and went to go find some local food.
All right, so we just stopped for lunch and we got knockoff Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Only €2 though. Not on Chick-fil-A's level, but for €2, I'll take it. The chicken is like 1 millimeter thick and the bread's stale. But at least we found protein.
Then it was time to keep exploring and check out these views. Definitely felt like we were going a little back in time. The people in these old houses were still hang drying their laundry on their railings. The last stop of the day was chilling on the river that splits the city in half. Then it was time to grab dinner and have a little Portuguese party.
One thing that I think is super cool about Portugal is that in the small country, you can literally get mountain, city, and beach. So now we're headed to the mountains, which is famous for its wine, its river, and its bridges. So let's see what this wine is all about. All right, so we're picking up a few quick groceries before we go. First impressions of the grocery store was how cheap everything was. This bottle of wine was only like €2. Also, they were literally carving prosciutto straight off the pig's leg. You definitely wouldn't see that in America, so that can't get any fresher than that. And they had these super cute little iced coffees, so definitely need this. But now we're gonna get the day started. So we finally made it to the vineyard. Super windy roads. Hopefully I don't like fall off the edge. All right, first stop, time for a day of wine tasting. All right, so we just overheard them saying this wine was better than Napa Valley, so we'll find out if that's actually true. First up. That thing thick like olive oil. I don't know if I like that one. We're giving Portugal a second chance. Not as bad, but still kind of weird. Now we got the dark red. What kind of burns too? All right, we just got kicked out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really not a fan of any of those. I think the problem is it was all port wine, which is like famous to Portugal, but to me it just felt like really thick, and I think it's like a dessert type wine. So not really something for like a good afternoon when you're just trying to hang out in the sun. But we're gonna go try to find another winery and see if it's better. So this next place actually didn't have a wine tasting, but we just got our whole bottle for only $10 and get to enjoy it with this amazing view. So I think that's better than the tasting anyways. Portugal redeemed itself with this glass. This is like your typical California wine, pretty much as good as it gets. The Porto stuff, not really a fan of, but this is fire.
The next day, we fueled up and headed to the capital, Lisbon.
All right, so we just saw this massive castle on the side of the road, so we're gonna go explore. That's the fun part about a road trip. So we just walked inside this castle and it's like going back into a medieval village. Granted, with tourists everywhere, but still, big 16th century vibes out here.
We had just enough time to stop in the beach town of Ericeira. Nothing super amazing, but pretty neat. Next, we're going to Lisbon to go on a group trip with a YouTuber I've been following for a few years. Everybody else on the trip makes YouTube videos as well, so it should be fun. And also, we randomly found out that the Pope is in town, so it was super busy.
The first night's event is a meetup at Outsite. It's like a co-working place that's all across the world. I'm already running a bit late, and there's some seriously massive hills here, so I gotta pick it up. Not to mention, it's super hot, but at least the sun is going down.
Some of you guys flew from Chicago, others hitchhiked all the way from Paris.
And I hitchhiked from Paris in 5 days, 2,350 kilometers. And I spent $2 for the trip.
That's the way you
I owe you a beer.
That's how I was.
We're gonna have an amazing 4 days together.
Yeah, it's bright and early. Woke up super early today. About to go explore some castle. I have no idea the history behind it, but it looks pretty cool. The streets are so quiet today compared to yesterday. All right, we finally arrived after some mishaps with the train. So now it's time to find some coffee and explore. All right, so we totally just cut like 500 people, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. It's super misty today, so it's giving like Harry Potter type vibes.
Not insects.
Alright, so Christian's right back there giving some camera tutorials. I think the funniest thing is how many people there are out here with a ton of cameras. There's probably like 10 people all taking videos of behind the scenes. It's too funny. Looking for the next spot.
Did you guys hear it crack? I don't know.
Oh my God, it's falling.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not up there.
Alright, so the sun finally came out. We're in this awesome place right now. It kind of looks like a combo of like Disneyland and Jurassic Park.
Next, we walked to a restaurant, had some lunch, and then headed back into Lisbon.
Alright, so we're headed to this rooftop. I can almost guarantee it's going to be packed, but we'll find out, see what it's like, check out the views.
Wow, the crew came ready. Looking fresh.
Alright, just made it on the Flixbus. We're about to drive 4 hours down to the beach. It's super early. I can't wait to get there and hop into my bathing suit. This area of town's giving me like typical little small beach tourist town vibes.
This part of Portugal is called the Algarves, which is famous for these big rock faces. So we enjoyed the views and then hung out on the beach.
Next up, we're going kayaking. And it's super windy out here. Let's make a bet on who's gonna capsize. And the night we're heading to this famous overlook. There's supposed to be a super cool sunset. Well, we only have about 5 minutes before it sets, so let's see if we make it in time.
That's a level 10 land right there.
And the very last thing on our agenda was to ride around on this catamaran all day. Perfect weather, great views. Doesn't get much better than this. Days like today make me feel really fortunate to be able to travel to so many amazing places all around the world and hang out with such awesome people while doing so.
And that's a wrap. Literally such a fun week. This is definitely a trip that I'll remember forever. Hope to see you on the next one.